tech is the cheapest it's ever been. Or is it? These guys are going to attack us. I'm taking the angle that tech is getting expensive. He's going tech is getting cheaper. At the end of it, they decide who wins. Stay tuned to find out.
I'm Piyush and I believe tech is becoming expensive day by day.
Hi, I'm Kanishka and I believe that these guys are crazy to believe that tech is cheap.
Hi, I'm Palak, and I believe that tech is at its cheapest right now because everybody is doing the same technology.
$100 billion. That's what OpenAI has spent. Every single day we see Nvidia hitting new highs in the stock market. Every single day we see GPUs hitting new highs in the stock market. I mean, if tech is not as expensive as it has ever been, I don't know where we are in the world.
If speed were how we measure tech, then it is the cheapest it has ever been, and it is gonna get cheaper and cheaper as time goes forward.
Your points were tech is becoming cheaper every day, but right now you're saying that we have the maximum speed in tech at an affordable price. Like, what do you mean? Should I measure cheapness in terms of price or in terms of speed?
Love it, right? So let's set a base here. The computer we have in our pockets, basically our smartphones. If we wanted that capable technology in the 1900s, that computer would be the size of an average room. In fact, an average flat in Delhi. Okay, that computer now sits in your pocket. That computer at that time would have cost you around $13.5 million. Right now, it costs you around 20,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees. 40,000 rupees, not more than that, right? But that is taking an argument ki yaar, then to tech was very bad, now tech is much better, and now if you think it is getting more and more expensive or more and more cheaper. The latest processor that Snapdragon has launched, a processor company, is 2 times faster than the last year's processor, right? The phones with the last year processor speeds now are half the price than last year. For example, the top of the line Samsung phone last year, if you want the same speed right now, it's half the price of that Samsung. That's what I mean by tech is getting cheaper. If you're willing to live 1 year in the past, you can buy the fastest phone of last year for half the price now. And this trend is not new. It has been continuing since 2007, 2008. That's what I mean by it's the cheapest ever. The problem is our brain looks at iPhone 18, iPhone 17, and we decide that, oh, 18 is more expensive than 17, then actually realizing what we are buying.
Don't you think every technology these days are available door to door? And if it's available everywhere, it's also affordable.
The top of the line Ferrari is available in India. Does that mean it's affordable? Just something being available and us being able to go and see it, touch it, feel it, use it does not mean it is affordable. Today, if someone wants to create their own technology or work in the field of tech or AI, as you came to us wanting to work in, there is a lot of money required for it, right? You're aware of how much money is required for it. It's in the billions of dollars, in the hundreds of billions of dollars. Just because I have the availability of AI doesn't mean tomorrow I can go and create my AI.
Do you believe that lesser money would have been required in the past to do the same AI we are doing now?
We wouldn't have been able to do it because there is a very simple law in technology which governs the amount of silicon that can go on the processors that you were talking about.
Lovely. So don't you think based on this law called the Moore's law, if number of transistors are increasing while the price of the number of transistors is decreasing, that means everything is getting cheaper?
What you can do with older tech living in the world today, we face this issue on a daily basis where our editors are saying that my laptop is not fast enough to cope up. So the cheaper tech that you talk about also limits your availability or your ability to do anything.
10 years ago, they could not even have done a video edit on a laptop, which means that 10 years ago, the machine that could edit the video, which costs around $7,000 or whatever that would be in rupees, is now available at $600, which is a tenth of the price for the same availability and the same accessibility as they used to have.
But they don't have that. Today, you use a laptop or a computer that it's 10 years old and you won't be able to do any of the processes that we do.
Exactly. But if you get the laptop or the computer, which is the same price as the laptop or the computer you would have had 10 years ago, you can do it, which means it's cheaper.
But you're getting that laptop at $7,000 that you just said.
That $7,000 laptop, now you're getting at $600. If you're talking about mehengai, or if you're talking about inflation, or if you're talking about if something is more expensive, we look at it in tomatoes and onions because tomatoes and onions are still comparable. Past tomato, now tomato, tomato is tomato. But past computer, now computer, computer is not computer. Past iPhone, now iPhone, not the same. Brain says it's the same. That's what I mean by it's getting cheaper.
It's not the same though.
But it
because
is the same.
the amount that you can do with it, what the way you use it, the way you're hamstrung. Today, if I get a tomato 1 year ago, or if I get a tomato today, I can still cook the same food with it. But today, if I get a laptop which is 3 years old, or if I get a 3-year-old laptop, would you say it's cheaper because the technology in that laptop is cheaper?
No. I'm not saying that. I am saying the 3 year ago laptop, which cost you $7,000, and the right now laptop, which will cost you $600, are equally capable, which means that tomato and this tomato are the same. That means that tomato got cheaper. That's what
They're
mehengai
not
means.
equally capable.
But they are. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
This video is sponsored by them.
Most of you are scared of starting your ads because it is scary. So let me help you. So here are the 4 things that are going to happen. You will get your first lead within 24 hours. We'll give you the exact ad to make that happen. You will have the ability to launch your full ad campaign in 4 weeks. And finally, we'll get on a one-on-one call to make sure we get rid of all your fears. So stop waiting, click below and completely transform your business. By the way, here's the video.
But why would I want it now? Because I have better options, because I have faster options. Why would I want the 10-year-old laptop?
And I love that question. That's the point. The point is that the identical thing is cheaper now, but your desires are higher in life. Your desire is not what inflation is. A comparison of what you are getting is what inflation is. So at the core of it, tech is getting cheaper. AI was available to America during 1990s when it was created, but we couldn't access that. A single prompt would have been too expensive to run for people like us. So a single prompt would cost you millions of dollars. However, right now, to ask what should I feed my cat, I'll go on ChatGPT and type it out. That's how cheap it is. What are you comparing is the real question with, is tech getting expensive or not? Are you going to compare the fastest versus the fastest? Yes, it is more expensive, but are they the same thing? No.
Okay, so let's sum it all up. Both of you give us your final thoughts in just 10 seconds, and then we'll decide who wins.
So I understand the apples to apples comparison that Akhil has tried to do, but I don't think technology works that way. I don't think we can compare something that existed 5 years ago and the capabilities of that today and that becoming cheaper, because what we do today, how we use tech today is such that something 5 years ago doesn't work anymore. Today, phones that are 3 years old, 4 years old don't work anymore because they're not able to handle what we do. So I don't believe that exists, which is why I think that entire point is moot, because we're looking at more capability, more ability to do things. You want to do so much more on your phone, on your laptop, on your devices, on your cars. So I think that tech is getting as expensive as it has ever been, because we're using it in more and more and more things.
What I want to do with something, what I can do with something, is not the definition of how expensive something is. My capability increasing, me being able to do many more things, versus I was able to do that in the past by giving more money, are what we are trying to compare here. 5 years ago, the highest end phone versus right now the lowest end phone are comparable. And 5 years ago, the highest end phone can do what the lowest end phone right now can. So what we have to realize is our brain is equating greed with inflation, which is not true. What is true is if we are to do the same things, it is much cheaper to do now. As we are able to have this podcast, we would not have been able to have it 10 years ago, because just making a studio would have been hella expensive.
I would stick to my opinion that tech is at its cheapest right now.
I would agree with Vishrut that tech is getting expensive as of now.
So I think tech is becoming cheaper every year in terms of usage. And if you compare it with past,
Who won, who lost, you decide.